Good day, sir. This is Miguelito Arica. Subject is Enhancement Course for Maritime 101. Schedule is 5:01 p.m. to 7:01 p.m. Monday to Friday. International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, Solas, 1974. The Solas Convention, in its successive forms, is generally regarded as the most important of all international treaties concerning the safety of merchant ships. The first version was adopted in 1940 in response to the Titanic disaster. The second is in 1929. The third in 1948 and the fourth is in 1960. The 1974 includes the Facet Acceptance Procedure, which provides that an amendment shall enter into force on a specified date unless before that date objection to the amendments are received from the agreed number of parties. As a result, the 1974 Convention has been updated and amended on numerous occasions. The convention in force today is sometimes referred to as Solas 1974 as amended. Technical provisions. The main objective of the Solas Convention is to specify minimum standards for the construction, equipment, and operation of ships compatible with their safety. Flag states are responsible for ensuring that ships under their flag comply with its requirement, and a number of certificates are prescribed in the convention as proof that this has been done. Chapter 1. General Provisions. It includes regulations concerning the survey of the various types of ships and issuing of documents signifying that the ship meets the requirement of the convention. The chapter also includes provisions for the control of ships in ports of other construction governments. Chapter 2. Construction, subdivision, and stability machinery and electrical installations. The subdivision of passenger ships into watertight compartments must be such that after assumed damage to the ship's hull, the vessel will remain afloat and stable. Requirements for this watertight integrity and bilge pumping arrangement for passenger ships are also laid down, as well as stability requirements for both passenger and cargo ships. Chapter 2-2. Fire Protection, Fire Detection, and Fire Extinction. It includes detailed fire safety provisions for all ships and specific measures for passenger ships, cargo ships, and tankers. Chapter 3. Life-saving appliances and arrangements. The chapter includes requirements for life-saving appliances and arrangements, including requirements of lifeboats, rescue boats, and life jackets according to the type of ship. The International Life-Saving Appliances, also known as LSA Code, gives a specific technical requirement for LSAS and is mandatory under Regulation 34, which states that all life-saving appliances, the arrangement shall comply with all the applicable requirements of the LSA Code. Chapter 4. Radio Communications. The chapter incorporates the Global Maritime Distress and Safety System, or GMDSS. All passengers ships and all cargo ships of 300 gross tonnage and upward on international voyages are required to carry requirement designed to improve the chances of rescue following an accident, including satellite emergency position indicating radio beacons and search and rescue transponders for the location of the ships or survival craft. Chapter 5. Safety of Navigation. Chapter 5 identifies certain navigation safety services which should be provided by contracting governments and sets forth provision of an operational nature applicable in general to all ships on all voyages. This is in contrast to the convention as a whole, which only applies to certain classes of ships engaged on international voyages. Chapter 6. Carriage of Cargoes. The chapter covers all types of cargoes except liquids and gases in bulk, which owing to their particular hazards to ships or persons on board may require special precautions. The regulation includes requirements for stowage and securing of cargo or cargo units, such as containers. Chapter requires cargo ships carrying grain to comply with the International Grain Code. Chapter 7. Carriage of Dangerous Goods. The regulations are contained in 3 parts. Part A. Carriage of dangerous goods in package form includes provisions for the classification, packing, marking, labeling, and placarding documents and stowage of dangerous goods. Part A1. Carriage of dangerous goods in solid form in bulk covers the documentation, stowage, and segregation requirements for these goods and requires reporting of incidents involving such goods. Part B covers construction and equipment of ships carrying dangerous liquid chemical in bulk and requires chemical tankers to comply with the International Bulk Chemical Code or IBC code. Part C covers construction and equipment of ships carrying liquefied gases in bulk and gas carriers to comply with the requirement of the International Gas Carrier Code. Part D. It includes special requirements for the carriage of packaged irradiated nuclear fuel, plutonium, the high-level radioactive waste on board ships, and requires ships carrying such products to comply with the International Code for the safety carriage of packaged irradiated nuclear fuel, plutonium, high-level radioactive wastes on board ships, or INF code. The chapter requires carriage of dangerous goods to be in compliance with the relevant provisions of the International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code, or IMDG code. Chapter 8. Nuclear ships gives basic requirements for nuclear-powered ships and is particularly concerned with the radiation hazards. It refers to detailed and comprehensive code of safety for nuclear merchant ships, which was adopted by the IMO Assembly in 1981. Chapter 9. Management of the Safety Operation of Ships. The chapter makes mandatory the International Safety Management or ISM code, which requires of a safety management system to be established by the ship owner or any person who has assumed responsibility to the ship or the company. Chapter 10. Safety measures for high-speed crafts. The chapter makes mandatory the International Code for Safety for High-Speed Craft or HS code. Chapter 11-1. Special measures to enhance maritime safety. The chapter clarifies requirements relating to authorization of recognized organization or responsible for carrying out surveys and inspection on administration behaves. Enhanced surveys, ships identification number scheme, and port state control and operational are required. Chapter 11-2. Special measures to enhance maritime security. Regulation 11-2/3 of the chapter enshrines the International Ship and Port Facilities Security Code or ISPS code. Part A of the code is mandatory and Part B contains guidance as to how best to comply with the mandatory requirements. Regulation 11-2/8 confirms the role of the master in exercising his professional judgment over decisions necessary to maintain the security of the ship. It says that he shall not be constrained by the company and the charterer or any other person in this respect. Chapter 12. Additional safety measures for bulk carriers. The chapter includes structural requirements for bulk carriers over 150 meters in length. Chapter 13. Verification of compliance. Makes mandatory from January 1, 2016 an IMO member state audit scheme. Chapter 14. Safety measures for ships operating in polar waters. The chapter makes mandatory from January 1, 2017 the introduction of Part 1-A of the International Code for Ships Operating in Polar Waters, or the Polar Code. The amendments. The 1974 Convention has been amended many times to keep it up to date. See how the history of Solas. Amendments adopted by the Maritime Safety Committee (MSC) are listed at the MSC resolutions. Thank you, sir.